And we are live. Good morning, everyone. This is Ruby D of Ruby D Artistry. And of course, you see Miss Tara with baby Malik. And we are out here in the park. And we are actually about to get ready for, well, we're preparing for our pop-up healing session. Good morning, good morning. So everybody that happens to catch this on the replay, oh, let me turn my camera around. Hey, oh, down here. So pretty much today, of course, you all know that Tara and I are doing Soul Therapy Internet Radio, which is, ooh, and that sun feels so good.
Sun gonna come out.
Soul Therapy Radio, and of course it's focused on discussing topics of mental and emotional trauma, unhealthiness, and of course different ways to heal. Hey Paul, hey everybody, thank you for watching. So today we are actually in the park and we are going to be doing some holistic healing, which we'll be starting with some grounding and do a mindfulness meditation session, as well as talk about different ways of healing, the importance of healing, how healing is great for mental illness and emotional illness. So pretty much that's what we're out here doing today. Of course, we're going to be over here. I'm actually going to keep the camera going. So you all will be able to see what we're doing. You may not be able to hear us. I'm not sure. But the weather is holding well. We have a nice little breeze and everything. But we're actually going to go ahead and get started. We have one guest here right now. And we're actually here from now maybe until about noon, a little bit after. But y'all see baby Malik over there. Yes, that is Tara's little one. He over there chilling. Isn't he cute? Oh, look at him. He's so cute. Just chilling. But yes, we are gonna get started. We're actually gonna start with some grounding. So if you can't hear us, then my apologies. Hopefully you can. And I don't know, hopefully the wind doesn't blow my camera over, because if it do, I'm gonna be upset. So hopefully it stands. Oh, okay. Wait a minute, you gonna introduce yourself?
What I'm doing, okay.
No, we just, hey.
Good morning, everybody. I am Tara Jackson. What am I saying? What am I doing?
Tara Jackson of Tara Jackson Consulting.
Oh,
and
Respect the Queen LLC,
yes.
The Wounded Healer Community. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Respect the Queen LLC or Speaker Tara J. Ladies, please join the Wounded Healer Community, Soul Therapy Radio with Ruby, yes. Broken Pieces from Trauma to Transformation. Love y'all.
Yeah, that part. Say hey.
Christine like, Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, we gonna get her viewpoint. She gonna keep it real with y'all, whether she really like this or not. Once we get done. But yeah, we gonna go ahead and get started. Let me find somewhere to put my camera.
How are we sitting?
Good morning. Well, actually for grounding, we're just gonna stand.
Oh. Ooh, with your shoes on.
Yeah, take them off. It is not. Oh, well, come on this side then. Make sure everybody's in the frame.
That's that city girl in her still. Like, nah, I ain't about to do that.
Well,
I'm like that with the bugs, though. Like,
yeah, that's why I was like, let me find some nice green grass, because I ain't want to be over there in sticks and mud and stuff like that.
Okay,
so
we have enough room for everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good, because we're just standing right now. So pretty much with grounding, grounding is good for balancing your body. You're pretty much using the energy, the natural energy from the earth, to help with stress, to relax, depression, and things like that. And of course, you know, when we little kids, we like to be outside running around barefoot. And that's what basically keeps us grounded. And you know, sometimes when you're outside and you're barefoot, you feel differently than being inside, or when you always have shoes on. And it's just like, when you have on shoes, that's basically cutting off your connection to the earth. And of course, you know, God made everything. He made us. So why would we not want to connect more with what nature, you know, what God naturally gave us? It's just like,
I think you feel more free too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's noticing the difference, like from having the shoes
on. You're right. You're coming back to your natural habitat, really.
Yeah.
Right, but it's okay. I mean, this is what we're naturally supposed to feel, because we're in shoes all the time. It's just like you don't really get to really feel what's going on. But now that you're out here, it's just like, oh, this does feel good. I know when I get off work, I'm
First thing I do is take my shoes off when you're doing this.
Exactly. So you really want to, you know, grounding basically helps you really connect with the outside, with nature, and draw energy from that. And of course, our feet are, think about it, when you do a foot detox, the pores in your feet are bigger than anywhere else on your body. So it's easier to pull out any impurities or any toxins like that. But that's where your feet can also absorb the energy.
Okay, cool. Y'all can hear.
I never.
Oh yeah, man.
You should get one.
You should get one.
Yes.
And pulls out the toxins.
Oh,
Right,
and I
put
mean,
inside of our body.
that water will start off clear, and within about 20 minutes, you'll be like, why is it burning? Oh, and that's what that is. It starts to turn brown because it's pulling all of that out. And that's what I'm saying with the feet. That's why I love being outside, you know, with my shoes off. And I'm not saying be outside on the cement or on the pavement or on the gravel, be in the grass, be in the sand. Dirt is fine too, but you know, of course.
He all mess, baby. He all mess.
But we're gonna start with the grounding exercise, and of course, being out in the sun, you get that natural vitamin D. Yeah, I like the sun. So let's get started. Exactly, for that cloud come over and run us home. But anyway, when you're grounding, you're pretty much going to imagine your feet, of course your feet on the ground, but you're going to imagine that you are being connected. Just imagine like a string from the bottom of your foot, or pretty much from the top of your head, going through the bottom of your feet, all the way through the earth. And that's anchoring you to the earth, and that's connecting you, and that's attaching you to the earth. So think about a tree. We know even though a tree grows up, the bigger it gets, the deeper the roots go. So that's what you're imagining. And you kind of want to think about it, you know, the bigger a tree gets, then exactly, the stronger it gets. And of course, the roots have to go down deeper into the ground to be able to support the tree whenever a storm comes. Right. Same thing with us. Whenever we have issues in life, or whenever, you know, something happens, if we're not grounded, then we're easily swayed, and you know, our mental and our emotional, it's easy for us to, you know.
And then when we do this, we're strongly attached.
Exactly. So when you know that you're firmly attached, like for instance, your root chakra, that's where you feel grounded. That's your survival chakra, and that's where you feel connected and safe. And I know for us, with doing chakra consultations, I find that a lot of us, I say like 97% of us, our root chakra is underactive. Women. Exactly. Men too. Gotcha. And that has a lot to do with our upbringing and how we were raised, but that has a lot to do with fear. And when you are fearful and you're not grounded, you don't feel safe here, you don't feel secure, you don't feel like you have a purpose, then you're lost pretty much. Right. So grounding pretty much helps us to get back to feeling safe and secure and feeling like we truly belong here and like we have a reason to be here. So what we're going to do, and I'm sorry for that long explanation, but y'all be all right. But what we're going to do is we're basically going to imagine us being anchored to the earth and just feeling the sun, feeling the grass on our feet, And we're just going to imagine as if we are developing roots to anchor us to the earth. So we're basically just going to picture that and just focus on that. So right now, while you're doing that, as far as breathing, what I want us to do is we're going to breathe in 4 counts. We're going to inhale 4 counts, exhale 4 counts. Inhale 4 counts, and then exhale 4 counts. We're naturally shallow breathers because we don't breathe deeply. So a breathing exercise helps us to become more calm, more focused, and more relaxed. And you might start to feel a little lightheaded, but that's fine. That's actually natural, and that's how we should feel. We should be breathing more deeply, and the more we do it, then the more comfortable we become with it, and then the dizziness goes away. So we're just going to focus on that right now. So inhale 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. As you're inhaling, your diaphragm should expand, and as you're exhaling, it should get smaller. Of course, we hear the sounds around us, which is absolutely fine. Just focus on your breathing. As you're breathing and you start to relax more, then you can start thinking of different affirmations. Affirmations such as I am grounded, I am safe, I am connected to this earth, I am balanced. And you just continue to focus on your breathing, focusing on being connected and attached to this grass. Feel the sunlight. Feel the breeze. Whatever affirmations you're thinking, then you can begin to say them out loud. By saying them out loud, you're giving them energy. You're giving them life. I am grounded. I am safe. I know my purpose. I am connected to this earth. other thoughts start to flow through your mind, that's absolutely fine. Let the thought come, and then let the thought go. I am safe and secure. I am fearless. I am one with those around me. I am connected to this earth. Then you can open your eyes and just feel. Feel and stretch. Y'all, I just love the sun, y'all. I just feel like, Lily, how you feel? Doing good. That is good. She feels good, y'all. It works. No, I'm playing. But no, with grounding, you do not have to do a lot. It doesn't take a lot. You do not have to be in the park. You can be in your backyard. You can be in your front yard. You can be on your side yard. Wherever you feel comfortable. Exactly. You can be at the beach. You can be on the sand. You can be in the water. But as long as you have a direct connection to the earth, like I said, not on the sidewalk, not in the driveway, not on the pavement, not on the cement. You have to go anything like that. Yes, you have to have your shoes off.
And socks.
And socks. And the reason you want to do that is because you want to be directly connected to the earth, because in our feet, that's where we have really huge pores. Just like we can release toxins through our feet, we absorb that energy from the earth. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? They're not coming over here, so next, let me see if we have any comments. Tara, how did you feel about that experience?
It's always like a sigh of relief. You can feel a pressure release from you. It's calming. It's affirming, definitely. Definitely provides a sense of balance. Like wherever you were at when you came here, you're kind of able to, not kind of, like all of that energy is kind of just balanced itself out.
Right. So if you are having a day where your emotions and your feelings are everywhere, go outside.
This is where we at. We are at Georgia State University
in Decatur. And we started it was a little bit after 10. But this won't be the only one we do. We'll actually see about doing them more often after we talk about it and stuff. But I look like what that girl squat
if you
face.
kick my phone down one more time. Go ahead, come on.
Well, you better stop. But yeah, if you're at work or if you're at home and you're just having one of those days where your feelings are everywhere, or you wake up and you're not sure why you're feeling off, then you need to go outside for a few minutes and ground. Especially since the weather is warmer and it's nice outside, definitely do that. So now that we've talked about grounding a little bit, then we're actually going to do some mindfulness meditation. I was going to say, you can jump back. Meditation, let me move this back. Of course, meditation.
You want to put them both together so we all can sit?
Well, yeah, get right like there in the middle so you can still be in the screen. Yeah. And I'll sit on this side and Tara can sit on that side and we'll just sit in the middle here. Whew. Okay, so I know I get a lot of questions about meditation, especially when people don't know if they're doing it right or how to tell if you're doing it right. I'm sorry. But with meditation, there's no right way or no wrong way to do it. It's pretty much whatever is comfortable for you. But when you're meditating, the goal is pretty much is just to be calm and be focused. Whatever your intention is, if your intention is just to relax, then focus on relaxing. With meditation, there are different ways to meditate. You don't have to always be in a dark room with the light off, with no sound, sitting in the closet, sitting Indian style.
Right.
You know, that's not, you know, that doesn't work for everybody, and, you know, different strokes for different folks. But mindfulness meditation I like to do because it's something that we can do at a moment's notice. Are you done, Malik? We can continue? Thank you. But mindfulness meditation can be done at a moment's notice, and you can do it for a couple of minutes, or you can do it up to as long as you feel you need to. But what mindfulness meditation is pretty much a type of meditation that helps you to focus on your current moment. I know sometimes with mental and emotional unhealthiness and illness, there can be certain things that trigger us. Sometimes we're aware of it and sometimes we're not. I know we've all been somewhere and we hear a certain song and it reminds us of a certain person. But when we think of this person, of course the song puts you in a good space, but then you're like, wait a minute, we ain't together no more. Wait a minute, I dealt with this, and then you go back to that moment where you start thinking about all of those unhappy moments, and then that triggers you, and now you're in your feelings, and you're at work, you was just eating your favorite food, and now you feel some type of way, and you don't even want to finish it because this song came on, and now you're in a completely different space. Well, with mindfulness meditation, it helps you to go back to that moment of being in the now before that trigger put you in this particular space. So with mindfulness meditation, like I said, this is one of my favorites because you don't have to have your eyes closed. You don't have to focus on anything, you know, specifically. And it's something that you can do at a moment's notice. So what we're going to do, of course, whether I'm meditating, grounding, or anything like that, I always start with a breathing exercise. Breathing is a way to help to calm you. Breathing is a way to help you focus quicker than just trying to say, okay, I'm going to focus. And then you're looking at the person walking over here. And then you say, okay, I'm going to focus for real. And then you look at this car driving by over here. Just focusing on your breathing just helps you to get into a space of relaxation and being calm quicker. So of course, again, we're going to start with the breathing exercise. With the breathing exercise, I usually recommend starting with a 4-count breathing exercise, and then as you get better at it or you do it more often, then move to maybe 6 seconds and then 8 seconds. Of course, inhaling and exhaling for 8 seconds, that's a long time. So you might not want to start there the first time. Start with 4, something easy. Because I don't want you like 6, 7, 8, and then you fall out and you sleep. That's not what we want. But we're going to start with the 4-count breathing exercise. And we're not going to close our eyes or anything. We're just going to look at what's in front of us. And I wish y'all could really see the view in front of us because it's just green grass and trees, and it's beautiful. Maybe I'll switch the camera around so y'all can see. Yeah, I'm going to do that so y'all can kind of do this with us. Cause I know y'all might be tired of looking at us. Yes, baby Malik is doing him. He over there chilling.
Oh, Rochelle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now the sun gone.
That's all right. The sun will come back. Okay.
So that was water.
That wasn't no swimming.
Sparkling water?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what your ass wants to have, that sparkling water.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, you all right? Listen,
But now that you can see our view, hopefully you can see it the same way we see it. If not, just look at the grass. Just look at the grass. But yeah, we're gonna let the little stuff. What is that? Honda? I don't know what that is. We're gonna let them go ahead and go where they go. But we're actually going to start with our breathing exercise and just look ahead. We're just going to take in what's in front of us and what's around us. And we're not going to focus on anything specifically. And we're going to let the airplane go by. No, they can probably get us. That phone picks up everything.
I see, because I'm like, yeah.
Yes, that phone picks up a lot.
Okay, y'all, let's roll.
Yes. Okay, we're going to start with our breathing exercise and just take in what's in front of us. So we're going to inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And what we're going to do next is the first thing we're going to focus on one thing that we can actually see right now. So what you're doing is just pretty much focusing on the moment. So this is why you're looking or focusing on something, one thing that you can see right now. It can be the grass, it could be the tree, the clouds. But by focusing on one thing at this particular moment, it's like a way of forcing yourself to focus on what's currently in front of you. So if you're looking at the grass, you can look at the grass and see how green it is, how beautiful it is. It looks really soft, like you just want to roll in it and just lay down and relax and take a nap. Or if you're looking at the tree, you can think about all the shade that tree provides, how beautiful and green and lush it is. If you're looking at the sky, at the clouds look extra fluffy today, like a nice pillow. But just focus on what you can see in front of you right now, one thing, and appreciate the beauty in it. If the only thing you can see right now is yourself, if you're looking in the mirror, then appreciate the beauty in yourself. Appreciate who you are and what you see. Live in that particular moment. Now that you focus on one thing that you can see, now you're going to focus on one thing that you can hear. Right now, what I'm focusing on is, I don't know what kind of bugs those are, but I can hear them. I know some of us could probably focus, or we're probably focusing on the airplane, which is absolutely fine. It's the sound that's happening at this particular moment, not anything in the past, happening in the future, but what's happening right now. Tara is probably listening to baby Malik because he's over there being baby Malik, and that's what's going on right now in this particular moment. She's not worried about what happened 5 minutes ago. She's not thinking about what's going to happen 5 minutes from now. She's thinking about what's going on in this particular moment. Some of you may hear cars. That's absolutely fine. One of the great things about mindfulness meditation is you don't have to focus on nature itself. You're focusing on your surroundings. You're focusing on what's going on at your current moment, at your present moment. Sometimes we spend too much time worrying about what happened in the past, things we can't change, or we spend too much time thinking about things that's going to happen in the future, something we may not even get to experience. But we never spend enough time focusing on what's going on at our present moment. You have to learn to live, and not only live, but live in the moment. Even if you're sitting at work, at a desk, that's the moment that you're in right now. It may not be your happiest moment, but it's what you have at this particular moment, and at that time you choose what you want to do with it. If you want to spend that moment sad and upset, that's completely on you, but it's unnecessary, because the same amount of time it takes you to decide to feel sad and upset is the same amount of time that it will take you to decide to feel happy, to be happy, to be grateful that you have a job, to be grateful that you can be there and be healthy at that job. Now that we focus on something that we can hear, take time to focus on something that you can touch. It can be what you're sitting on. It could be this beautiful green grass. Y'all should see Tara. She's just rubbing all up in the grass. But she looks like she's really enjoying the way the grass feels. And this grass feels really nice. It does. You can focus on if you're touching, if you're holding your own hand. Focus on that. If you're wearing glasses, focus on how the glasses feel on your face. If you're laying in bed, focus on what your bed feels like. It's all about focusing on what's going on at your present moment. Not worrying about yesterday, not worrying about tomorrow. But living and loving in this particular moment. Too often we spend too much time giving energy to things that we have no power over, to things that don't even matter right now. We give time and energy to everything outside of us, but we never take the time to give that same time and energy to ourselves. Focusing on what you can see and taste and feel right now is your way of connecting with your surroundings, not connecting with anybody else, not what somebody else is doing. You minding your own business. And your only concern is you. Focus on what you can feel right now at this moment. We haven't even made it through all 5 senses, but I'm sure you haven't thought about whatever triggered you 5-10 minutes ago. you've already forgotten about it. And that's one of the most beautiful things about the mind. You can either decide to be happy, but at the moment you decide to be sad, then that completely takes over your being. That completely takes over your mental. That completely takes over how you feel and how you react. Nobody can control that but you. Malik, did you hear what I just said?
Get you out here on the map.
Now, take time to focus on something, one thing that you can smell. I smell fresh air. And it's nice just to be out and be able to take in nature. Some of us don't even realize that air conditioning has a smell because we're in it all the time. Go outside and then come back in and tell me what it smells like. This is why you need to get outside in nature. Smell the grass. When it rains, go sit on the porch. Sit in the garage with the door open. And just smell the newness. Just smell how nature smells when it's been cleansed. We're in Decatur right now, Atlanta. We've been getting rain pretty much every day for I don't know how long. But even though we might get rain later today, right now, it's not raining. So we have the sunlight, we have the grass, we have the trees. The weather is nice. You got to get out and enjoy it. Connect with it. You don't have to be outside for an hour and 2 hours. All you need is a good 15 to 30 minutes of sunlight per day. But focus on what you can smell right now. Live in this particular moment. Don't worry about them bills you got to pay tomorrow. Don't worry about your bank account sitting on zero because you paid your bills like you were supposed to.
Hello.
Just focus on this particular moment. Right now you're safe. Hopefully you're not hungry. Bug, I know you better not, what is that? Wasp? You better not tilt my phone over because it's already leaning. But focus on this particular moment and just enjoy it. Now, if you can, focus on one thing that you can taste. It can be the water that you just drunk, the coffee, the tea, that donut you just bit into. But just savor that taste. Doesn't matter if it's healthy for you or if it's unhealthy. What matters is right now that whatever you're eating, you're enjoying it. Some of us, we eat when we're sad. That doesn't have to be. I know when I eat, I'm happy. I'm dancing. I'm swinging my legs. I got some ice cream. I got some ice cream. I'm the same way with burgers, with fries, with chicken, with salad. It don't matter what it is. I'm a happy eater. But whatever you're eating, you're drinking, just focus on one thing you can taste right now. Live in the moment. And this is what mindful meditation is. It's not that you're actually meditating, but you're just putting yourself to where you're living in the exact moment that you're in. You're focusing on the moment that you're in. You're learning how to appreciate the moment that you're in. You're learning how to look at what's currently in front of you and focusing on just that. I know y'all, some of y'all are football fans. And you know in football they teach them to catch the ball first and then run. You can't focus on running and then you drop the ball. That's not how things work. You focus on one thing, on one moment, and then you focus on the next. And then you focus on the next. So on and so forth. And if in each moment you're focusing on what you appreciate about that moment, then you don't have time to focus on things you don't appreciate. This is all a part of healing. Healing isn't hard. It's really not. But sometimes we make it harder than it has to be. Because we want to say, oh, I don't have the time. Oh, I don't have the energy. The kids this. The husband that. The job this. The family that. Girl, we gonna tell it all. Tell it all. Because that's the problem. We focus too much on what other people think we should be for them. But how often do they ask you, how are you doing today? What is it that you need? What goals are you trying to obtain or attain? But we're always asking them, how are you? What do you need? But we never ask ourselves, how are you? What is it that you need? How can I make you happy today? What don't you want to do? People are always so concerned with what we can do for them that we don't even have time to be concerned with what we can do for ourselves. And then we wonder why at night we cry before we go to sleep. You wake up in the morning in your feelings because you just spent the whole night upset. Not realizing that when you're upset, that energy you go to sleep with, you wake up with it. While you're sleeping, that goes into your subconscious mind. Happy. Sorry. He's so cute. Sorry, but when you go to sleep with that anger, it seeps into your subconscious mind. It seeps into every area of your body, and then you wake up. You wonder why you wake up with a headache. You wonder why you wake up with a backache. And sometimes you can't even go to sleep. And then you develop sleep disorders. And then you end up eating late at night because you can't sleep. And then you're developing other health issues. And now not only do you have mental issues, but now you got health issues. And now you're emotionally unhealthy. We have to stop this. Tara, what you got to say, girl?
I'm in a session. Because I am that person for other people. So I'm really here, like, let me take this in and not be the coach, not be the healer, not be the mentor. Because we can get so consumed, especially if this is a part of your profession, you can get so consumed helping other people and then finding yourself not having the energy to help yourself. Not taking enough time out for yourself and balancing between your personal and professional life, putting yourself first, really learning that as a mom and as a single mom at that, we devote so much time and energy into taking care of our children, especially when you work from home. Everything is encompassed at home. and just appreciating, even though I have baby Malik with me today, just appreciating this moment that isn't about him. Even though he's making it about him. But he's a baby, so I'm like, let me center as much as I possibly can and take on this moment. We say self-care is a divine responsibility. We talk about it, but we don't necessarily execute. We don't necessarily recognize how depleted we really are until something happens and you don't have the energy, or you don't have the resources, or you're not physically or mentally capable of giving to yourself what you need, because I gave it all for you. And then I'm emotionally and mentally exhausted. So it's definitely one of these things that we just have to stop talking about and start participating in our own healing, start participating in our own self-care journey, and being honest and saying, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do. You know, I've never, because we haven't really been groomed from a holistic side of what self-care is. You know, self-care to women is taking a bubble bath, locking yourself in the bathroom for an hour, hiding in the bathroom for 20 minutes so you can use the bathroom by yourself. You know, maybe going to the grocery store, just whatever that moment is that you get 20 minutes or an hour away from your surroundings or your children or your husband. Like, that's not self-care. It's not. You know, it's nice to take the bubble bath, it's nice to light the candles and listen to jazz, but it's not the whole sum of what self-care is about. And so really just recognizing, outside of my belief system or outside of what I've been given as my belief system, how much do you really know about self-care? And how much time are you really taking out for yourself, and is it enough? Because we can say, okay, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it on Mondays. And then the remaining 6 days out of the week, you're depleting yourself. That's not self-care. You know, that's not self-care. So finding a balance between it all, especially single moms, especially people who are on their own and they don't have a support system. They don't have anyone to say, hey, let me come take the kids. I know you haven't, where you, like grabbing these bags this morning as a mom, you're like, damn. You know, learning how to use the one arm with the baby on your hip, like those things, that's not self-care. It's not self-care. It's not self-care. Developing a support system of sisters who can say, hey, you know what, bring the baby, we'll help you, but we're going to make sure you get this moment that you need for yourself. So it's really where I'm at right now.
And not only does that apply for women, but it also applies for men. Of course,
we don't have that conversation about
Of course, we see all of these resources and all of these retreats and everything for women, but men need it just as much. I'm not going to say they need it more, but just as much. We all need it a lot, because even from when we grew up, we never learned how to effectively manage our feelings and emotions. We were always taught to be strong. We were always taught to, you know, let stuff roll off our back, turn the other cheek. We were always taught to cope with anger and sadness as opposed to effectively dealing with it. And, you know, for men, they have their whole set of issues that they deal with that women know nothing about. And men, just because we know nothing about it, that doesn't mean that we don't care. Because there's a whole set of issues that, you know, us as women deal with that you all know nothing about. But pretending like nothing ever happens is definitely not the way to start to really find effective ways of healing to get us all through whatever it is that we're going through. So men, it's okay for you to ground. It's okay for you to meditate. It's not just women that do this. Men, it's okay, you know, for you all to get together and, you know, have events like this or have a retreat for men.
Removing that stigma.
Yeah. And then, of course, I know at some point there are going to be retreats, co-ed retreats for men and women. But we all have to understand that to some degree there's a reason for separation. because women feel comfortable, with women. Men feel comfortable with, other men or discussing certain things around other men. But it's going to have to get to the point. It's going to have to get to the point where we have to come together, because even though we have our own issues separately, there are issues that we have collectively, that we have to work on, that we have to find effective coping mechanisms for. And there are things that we need to work on, like, for instance, this whole men bashing women, women bashing men. I'm not even going to ask who started it, but why y'all got to let it continue to keep going? Why do you have to add fuel to the fire? If you just shut up, then
it doesn't.
It's not that hard, right? You don't even have to talk about it. Instead of talking about it, you can actively do something to work towards a common goal of us, black men and black women having better relationships overall, whether it's intimate, whether it's platonic, whether it's, family, mother, child, father, child, whatever it is. Let's see, we might as well, we're already talking about healing, so we might as well go ahead and continue our conversation. Can y'all see? Well, we're just going to talk a little bit about healing and the importance of healing to when it comes to mental and emotional unhealthiness. I believe that, I touched on it a little bit earlier about when we were younger and how we were not taught to effectively manage our feelings and emotions. We were pretty much basically taught how to thrive in dysfunction.
Right.
And I feel it's dysfunctional because we're not supposed to be out here just hurting and being sad and being upset and being angry and not know what to do with that, as opposed to acting out and taking it out on other people. That has nothing to do with other people. How we feel, how we think, and how we react is 100% all on us. Now, of course, life happens and, other stuff happens to us which is beyond our control, but we don't have to allow that to control what we do and who we are and how we think. So, I know that earlier this month, of course, Tara had her Broken Pieces retreat, which is actually in October. For those of y'all that missed it, earlier this month, she made sure she was there. So, y'all might want to make sure y'all there next time. But we actually got to... your water wants some sunlight too. Okay. But we actually got to talk about some... day one, we talked about different, experiences, traumatic experiences such as rape, neglecting the inner child, molestation, alcohol abuse, just different things. And then on day two, we were able to, give the ladies some tools as far as healing, as far as basically just being able to effectively and in different ways find ways of healing, self-care, and self-love. Now, of course, I've been running my mouth and talking and whatever, but I'm going to let Tara, talk a little bit more before I start going off again. So go ahead, Tara.
As far as, healing is concerned, I think that sessions like this, bringing people out of their comfort zone. This sun is killing me trying to look at this at the same time. Bringing people out of their comfort zones and introducing them to healing strategies or coping strategies, coping mechanisms that are unfamiliar to them, definitely provides a tool for us to begin the healing journey. It may seem very simple, or you're like, what does that have to do with healing? But it's really hard to heal when you are imbalanced, when you are all over the place, when you're not aligned you know, in general, but just not even aligned with your present moment. Like Ruby said, all the way in the past or all the way in the future, so much that you can't attend to what's going on in your present day. Not knowing how to use the past as a means of power. A lot of times we use the past as a means to destroy ourselves, to destroy those around us.
Right.
Really being able to transform your perspective on the pain that you have endured over life and really turning it into purpose, which can be hard when we don't know how to process the pain. We don't know how to really look at it and find truth and find freedom and find purpose. Like, I understand today that I had to go through those things in order to get here. And for people, just that simple notion can be hard. Like, why did I have to go? We focusing on the why did I have to go through these things instead of just finding, again, power in it and learning how to transform it. Learning how to transform your own life, learning how to assist others in transforming their life, giving yourself and other people a different perspective. And just being open to receive something different. Like, if you have been trying to conquer these things in your life by yourself or even with other people and it's not working, like, you got to be able to wave that flag and say, I've tried all of this and this doesn't work, or what I'm thinking, my best thinking has left me stuck and stagnant. Then let me reach out to Ruby and say, hey, listen,
Right.
I'm trying. Like the other day when I reached out, like, look, I'm doing all of this and I'm still feeling a little like, and then the redirect of, well, you need to do this, and I'm like, I'm doing that. Well, then go get out the house. I'm like, got you.
That's what it is. I've been in here all day. I ain't went nowhere.
Right,
Let me
got
try
you.
this.
Something so very, very simple that we just complicate, which a lot of times I think that, and let me grab Baby Malik, sometimes it is just taking your hands off of it.
You want to get in that grass.
Yeah. And I'm trying to decide if that's going to be a good idea. Because he's not going to get in the grass. He's going to be over there.
Right.
He's going to be over there. He's going to be over there. He's going to tear up the thing. Yeah, all of that. I'm thinking about all of that. But sometimes it's as simple as just taking your hands off of it. Stop messing with it. Stop thinking about it. Stop pondering on it. Go get outside and go do something different.
Right.
You know, it really can be that simple. But again, I think we're looking for the people who hurt us to say, I hurt you. I'm sorry I did.
Right.
Please forgive me. And a lot of times that's not happening. It's not happening. It's not, and people don't always see what they did as harm. So you're around here waiting for mama, daddy, sister, cousin to acknowledge the pain. You stuck. They don't went on about their lives, however great or miserable the life is, but they don't even realize that they need to apologize to you, or that they hurt you, or that it impacted you in a way that you are now destroying your own life. Like, you have to be okay with an apology that you're never going to get. You know.
That is true. And, you know, when you say that, I see it firsthand. Not that I experience it personally, but I see it firsthand. It's just like, this person, well, basically, you're just acting out and you're reaching and you're reaching and you still reaching. And the person, it's just like society now. We can see a person in trouble. We can see that a person needs help. But all we can do is stand there and watch. Won't reach out, won't help, won't call for help, won't do anything. And that's because we're so out of touch emotionally, that we don't even realize what's going on. Like I made a post the other day, it's not your responsibility to fix them, but it is your responsibility to acknowledge what's going on.
Right, like yesterday when I left from the training, there was a young lady walking, carrying a car seat, a baby car seat. It's hot as hell outside. People are walking and riding past her, and I'm like, ain't nobody gonna say, you need a ride? You all right? Don't get me wrong, we was in the hood for sure, but I had to trust that I at least had to acknowledge that she was out there with a small child, couldn't have been no more than maybe 5 or 6 months old, had to be 90 degrees yesterday. Hey sister, you need a ride? And because we're so desensitized, because we're so disconnected, she looked at me like,
What you mean? I can see it.
Right.
Like, who are you to be asking
who
her
are
if
you?
she
And
needs
I
it?
said, listen, I didn't mean to startle you or offend you. it's hot as hell out here, and I'm just making sure you good. And she's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just going up the street. Listen, as hot as it was, I would have got in the damn car. A block up the road, I would have. She's carrying a car seat with this baby in it. But again, we're so programmed to believe there's something wrong. And don't get me wrong, I know there's a fear factor there. You don't want to, because I was like, let me make sure it's a baby in there. You know, it might not be a baby in there. That might be a ploy. I'm street smart enough to recognize that, but I'm also human enough to recognize it's hot as hell outside if she got a baby. And if it was me, I would want somebody to stop. Right. And I mean, I got a car seat in the back. Malik wasn't with me, but that's what I connected to. I have a baby. And I mean, just human compassion, we don't have. We don't have it for people. We're afraid. And for me, driving through that neighborhood and seeing people in a very desolate degradation state was like, how can we be so disconnected that we don't care? And these people literally had a makeshift tent city in the middle of a neighborhood on an abandoned lot. That part. And this is where they live. And society has forgotten about them, and society doesn't care because we don't have compassion. We're disconnected from our own selves, let alone not being able to connect to other people. So we ride past and we keep going and not recognizing that too could be you, or that too could be your sister or your cousin or your mom or whatever. So don't get me wrong, I don't need you out there buddying patrolling in the hood and set yourself up for danger, but just have some compassion, you know, for people, but we don't have it for ourselves.
Y'all heard that? Did y'all hear that? This is why we need to heal. Because we don't even care enough about ourselves to care about other people.
Yep. And it was unfortunate. I kept going like, she can't even receive the help.
Right.
Not even for her baby. Damn her.
And that's what I was thinking about. It
not
was like
even
she's
for
not even
her baby. Girl, do you know I would have got in that car? I would have gotten in that car. Don't get me wrong. I would have been very, you know, cautious of. But I'm a woman, you know, and I made sure I presented myself in a very vulnerable way so she didn't feel fear, but disconnected.
But not telling what she's been going through.
You have, and I'm seeing it all over her. I'm like, she's surviving in this neighborhood. This neighborhood is horrible. It just is what it is. It's a horrible neighborhood as far as safety is concerned, and drugs and violence and whatnot. And you could see it all over her face. It was just like, I got this baby and I got somewhere to go, and she's already ready, you know, for whatever is going to come her way. So for me to stop probably was the first time in a long time anybody said, are you good? You straight? And she'll think about that, don't get me wrong, but then she got to go back to that same environment where don't nobody stop and say, are you good? For the sake of the baby. Damn her. For the sake of the baby. It's an unfortunate.
And that's where it starts. And that's when I say, like, even as children, we grow up with this type of dysfunction.
Yep. Because
that baby, of course, has no idea what's going on. But even at those young ages and those, you know, that particular stage, babies are like sponges. Kids are like sponges. And even though she may not remember it consciously, it's still going to play a role subconsciously, and continuing to see her mother do this, even when the baby turns 1, 2, 3, then it's just like, now that particular child is going to grow up to be just like her mother, where she's going to be looking looking sideways at people that are trying to help her. And it's just like, exactly, and it's just like, why do we have to keep going in this particular cycle? Why does this have to be a norm for us? This should not be normal.
But I think for me, I'm from the north, and we automatically know you don't stare in the person's eye. You know, you keep looking ahead and you go. Like you don't, down in Georgia, it's like really friendly. Everybody's hey. But up north, we're a whole different way. You don't do eye contact. You don't, hey, how you doing? You don't do that. No. Look straight and keep it moving.
Hustle or be hustled. You know what I mean? When I first moved to Texas, you are so correct. Girl, I would be riding down the highway in Austin, and people would pass, make eye contact, and wave. And wait, I'm from the north. I'm from the Midwest, Detroit, Saginaw, Flint. We do not do that because we are surviving. We are surviving, and you will get murdered easily being friendly, too friendly to people.
Yes, so, I remember that, like, you know, in my younger years, I think maybe from like maybe ages 4 or 5 up until like maybe I was 10, we lived in Detroit.
Right.
And yeah, I remember walking to and from school, and I'm just head down getting it. Don't stop, don't say nothing to nobody, don't, you know, if anything, if you need to stop real quick, your auntie house right here, but other than that, you just keep going. Right.
Yeah, for me, when you grow up like that, it's like when I moved down here, and everybody was like, hey,
it's
I'm like, you know, you just got this attitude already. But since I've been here for so long now, it's just like, hey, I'm a little bit more open.
Yeah, you start
But when I first got here, I'm like, why are they speaking? Like,
and isn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
You're asking yourself why somebody is speaking. Why do you have manners?
And that's natural. And it's like, I'm supposed to speak. I'm supposed to
Right,
acknowledge
you're supposed to acknowledge you. So now when you're out, because I've been in the South 10 years now, I naturally speak now to people when I see them. But I also recognize it here where, especially sisters, are like so standoffish. It's hard for them. Like, they don't understand why you're smiling. They don't understand why you're waving.
Or if you give them eye contact, what's the problem?
Yeah.
You know, you just giving eye contact. I was taught give eye contact. Hey, how you doing?
Right.
I'm just admiring you because I think you're pretty. Right.
You know, I had to do it. I was at a drive-thru in food the other day, and I told the young lady, thank you, like 3 times. And she didn't. So I waited. After I got my food, I got her attention again. I made her open up the window. I was like, baby, I just said thank you 3 times. And all 3 times you dismissed and disregarded. But she's in tunnel. And she's on autopilot. Right. She's so disconnected. It's just slanging food out. I said, I'm trying to help you, baby.
You're not doing
no
customer service.
Right, I'm trying to connect. I'm trying to let you know I appreciate you. And I know this is a shitty job. I know you hate the job. I know it ain't paying enough. Right.
Every time somebody went, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? That lady must have said, hey, how you doing? At least 200-300 times a day. And I can only imagine how many people speak that.
Didn't say anything to her. You know,
and
nothing
it's
at
just
all.
like, even when you
I'm
get
guilty
to the
of that
register.
sometimes. When they work in QT, you know, QT always say, hey, how you doing? You know, but
So you're so right. I need my coffee because I'm trying to go to work. I'm tired of these people. I ain't even got there yet. So you, again, being so focused and projecting what's gonna happen in your day that you're missing the present moment to be able to connect to another human being. We do that. Zombies, autopilot.
And that's an important thing about healing. When you realize that you're not able to connect with people, that should be an indication that some level of healing needs to take place.
Why do I got an attitude with the girl that's a cashier at the QT?
Right. She don't even know me, and she ain't even did nothing to me.
But I think your mood makes a difference too. Because if you're happy, you're gonna just automatically say. But if you're mad, you coming out the house and you're mad, and you just had an argument, you're mad at the world. You don't care who, what, you know.
Transfer of energy.
That's it.
Right.
Yep.
Transferring that energy all throughout your day. So something happened like the night before or the morning of, and then you go, I had a bad day. But what you don't do is take responsibility for the fact that you transferred that energy to every other encounter you had all day. Now you done got into it with the boss, you don't like the girl that's sitting next to you, you know, you done stubbed your toe, your meal was wrong at McDonald's or wherever you're eating at. And you didn't recognize. Now you stuck in traffic. It takes you 2 hours to get home. And you never connected to, I'm the one that decided I was going to have a bad day because I carried that energy all day long.
My daughter made me recognize that one day. I was just so mad, and I'm just yelling and screaming at everybody. She said, Mom, why are you mad at me? And it didn't even dawn on me that, you know, I'm taking it out on her. She's like, why are you mad at me? I didn't even do anything. But it was just like, so that's something that I want to learn how to control and deal with, because it happens a lot with me. When I'm mad at the world.
To everybody, right?
That's when you need to take some time, going off in that corner.
Your energy.
Going off in the backyard, in that corner, be like, just let me be. Just
mindful meditation, yoga. Sometimes it's music for me.
Yeah, and I learned a lot from the retreat, because this is why I have my mat now. I have my candles lit. I have my time in my room. I light light my candles when I take my bath, and I sit and I meditate. Sometimes, like you said, it's not meditating on one certain thing. It's just the quietness,
Right.
you know,
The
and
peace.
Right. I was gonna say the peace.
The
There's
peace.
so much power in silence.
Yeah. And I have that the meditation music on,
Mm-hmm.
and I just lay there with the candles on it. So I thank God for the retreat because I've learned a lot
Simple
from there.
techniques that we think healing is so don't get me wrong, it can be painful when you've been holding
You gotta let
something.
it out. Yeah.
But when you start to release that and you start using just those little simple things, like lavender is my best friend.
I found Epsom salt with lavender in it from Walmart.
Whatever it is. I remember in recovery, they was like, listen, if it's a tree, it's a tree. If it's whatever it is, if it brings you to a place of peace, true peace, not numbing, not
Right.
medicating, true peace. If you got to go hug that tree, hug the tree.
Be a tree hugger.
Be a tree hugger. Whatever it is that is not ultimately destroying you. Because some people release.
You release it.
Some people release through ways like retail therapy. You know, I don't think it's bad every now and again, but if you buy in $200 bags every week because you can't deal with yourself, then that's the problem.
Right.
That's
Or
the
you
problem.
go look in your closet and everything in there still got tags on it.
Listen.
And it's just like, this ain't even my size. Why did I buy this? You got a problem.
Yeah. You're escaping.
You got a problem. That's what my sister did. She had a yard sale and practically everything that she had in the yard sale was new. But why?
Because you're emotionally buying. You're trying to escape whatever it is that you're feeling. So you pick up the drink, you pick up the drug, you pick up the phone, call the man, you pick up the food,
That's my
you know, or you pick up extra hours at your job because you don't want whatever it is that you're using to not deal with what you're feeling. And people get caught up in addiction and think it's drugs and alcohol. But people have addictions to a lot of different things to avoid dealing with themselves. You know, you gotta.
And that's another thing. What with healing, with mental illness and with healing, we've put it so much in a box where it's just like, okay, if I'm not in that box, as long as I'm outside of that, then I'm fine.
Then you think you're good.
That ain't true. That's not true.
Yep.
If you have being overly jealous, it's not a good thing. It's not healthy, because at some point it's gonna be too much, and it's gonna be too much for you to handle. Road rage is not healthy, because at some point it's gonna become too much. Too much of anything is not good for you. We can even be too happy sometimes. Being too happy can get you in situations that you don't need to be in. You can be extremely happy, but you still have to pay attention. You still have to be mindful of what's going on. You still have to be conscious of your surroundings and everything. So it's all about, it's impossible to find balance. You can't be equally happy and equally sad at the same time. It doesn't work like that. But what you can do is, at this particular moment, effectively manage that moment, effectively manage the next moment, and understand what it is that you have to do, how you have to deal with it, and what keeps you in a space of being mentally healthy. Mentally healthy is not always being happy. Mentally healthy is just being in the place where you understand what's going on.
Hello.
And you're able to react in a positive manner as opposed to reacting negatively. So you could be mentally healthy and upset.
Right. I think and I learned this about myself when I first got clean. I first started this whole enlightenment movement within myself or whatever. I thought that everything about me from the past that was considered negative needed to be put in a box. You know, lock the box, lock the cage. Don't ever let her out. Don't ever let the world see her. So I was suppressing things that, like, listen, some of this shit is a part of you. Some of this is your personality, like your shadow self. Not trying to put the negative on the shelf and act as though it doesn't exist.
Right.
You know, duality, knowing that there is good, bad, and indifferent about me, that I'm suppressing who I am, trying to hide from y'all that is some things about me that may be perceived negative, instead of totally embracing that from a centered space. Because sometimes you can go overboard.
Right.
You can be so unapologetic that it's nasty, it's rude, you know, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. So trying to find that, I done went through all them different layers of like, she rude, she nasty. I'm telling the truth. Hurting people to, okay, let me find balance in all of this, because it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be sad. I think it's what you do with it that matters the most, and a lot of us get stuck in it. And we can't. Now we just got layers of I'm pissed off,
Right.
I'm angry, I've been hurt, and just layer on top of layer on top of layer. When are you dealing with it?
Y'all need to start dealing with that stuff. We all need to start dealing with our stuff. Do you think I got here just like I woke up one morning? Okay, I'm good. No, it didn't work like that. I've cried. I've been sad. I've been upset. Y'all, I got a bad attitude. Y'all never, wait, maybe y'all see it sometimes, but my attitude is horrible. I mean, horrible. Nasty. But on the flip side, I've found my balance, you know, to that. I could be a very supportive and understanding and non-judgmental person, and especially when I have my karaoke, that's like, look, food and karaoke. If y'all got some, exactly, if y'all got some bad news to tell me at karaoke with some chicken.
And I'm good, right? And I think people don't necessarily realize that, because sometimes it looks like you just doing, like I was sharing with y'all the other day in the group, like designing, that's release for me. The colors and being able to see something manifest from my mind onto paper or onto digital or whatever, that's release. That's being creative,
Right.
is the ability to release. So I think it's finding things that are healthy that you can use as a part of your coping mechanisms, as a part of your strategy for processing. Because I think it can't, I guess it can't always feel like work.
Right,
You know
and
what I
that's
mean?
what it is with even, and you know, of course on the show, Soul Therapy Radio, you know, throw that out there. We're going to be talking more about the chakras and some other stuff, but with the sacral chakra, which is the second chakra, creativity is what balances anger, is what balances negative emotion. And people always think when you talk about creativity, it's art, it's music, it's this. No, creativity is what it is for you.
Right.
So for you, it's designing. For her, it may be, you know, if she
cupcake,
exactly,
treat.
cupcake cooking. For others, it may be working out. For others, it may be creating meal plans. For others, it may be doing hair.
Right.
It's not just drawing a picture. It's not just painting a picture. It's not just, you know, one thing. And it's just like we spend so much time trying to put everything in a box.
Right.
First of all, if y'all ain't moving, y'all don't need no boxes. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Boxes are for moving, and
Well,
that's
it limits you to say that healing is supposed to look like what it looks for Ruby, for Christine, and what it looks like for Christine, it looks like for Tara. And that's not true.
It's all different.
It's all different. So, like with the retreat, you may have not gravitated to every single thing that happened that day, but you picked up the things that, okay, I can incorporate this into my daily life. Because when it feels like it's a full-time job, I think that's when people get discouraged. That's when they're like, it's just too much. Or trying to figure out everything you gotta do instead of focusing on this is what I can do right now. And this is what's gonna help me right now. I can't get so caught up into, that's why we gave practical strategy. Practical tools, simple tools that didn't make you feel like, it's gonna take me 6 months. And when it feels like that, you're like, put that back on the shelf. I ain't dealt with it in 20 years, it's gonna make it another 10. Because I've learned how to survive. I've learned how to get through and live in pain.
And that's what people ask me a lot. Well, what can I do to heal? Or what can I do to balance my chakras? What can I do to do this? Well, first you can start by doing something. But I have to tell people, I can't tell you one particular thing because it's not one size fit all.
Right.
It's whatever works for you. And it's, you know, I try 10, 20 different things as long as you're
Until
trying.
you find what works
but
for you.
out of those 10 or 20 different things, pick up what you like most, what resonates with you the most, what's most effective for you.
I think what catches my eye it's helping me. Like when I came to the retreat, I didn't really know anything about meditation, all of that, and I tried it, and I like it. Like it really just makes me think more clearly. It makes me sit by myself and just take it all in instead of acting out or doing something I really ain't supposed to be doing or something. But for me, this really is helping me. Right. Like the meditation part of it, getting to know yourself and speaking about some things that you may not want the world to know or someone to know, but releasing it, letting it go, and dealing with it. That's gone, and now I'm on to something else. Right.
Exactly.
This is it.
You're effectively managing what's going on. It's not that you're trying to numb it, or it's not that you're trying to pretend like it doesn't affect you, or it's not happening. It's just like, well, hey, you dropped the bottle. Well, hey, you know, this is going on. Let me take some time to just deal with this right now. And then it doesn't have the opportunity to just sit. It doesn't have the opportunity to just fester.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the
Fester
opportunity.
long enough.
Exactly. And it's just like, and then once you actually start healing and you start feeling what it feels like to feel good, then it's just like, oh, well, let me do this more often.
And that's the feeling that I got. I'm dealing with 3 or 4 different things, but as I'm meditating and praying and fasting and on one thing, now this certain situation is gone. I can see clearly now why it ain't working.
Right.
Now I can see clearly. Okay, so that's done. Now I'm on to the next thing.
Right.
You know, we're not trying to take everything at one time.
It's too overwhelming.
It is.
Too much. If you already got a cluttered spirit and you're trying to deal with 15 things at the same time, it just doesn't work. It doesn't.
And sometimes
work.
it's like it's a no-brainer. You think back and you're like, did I really do all that stuff? Was I in this relationship that long because of like we hoping that he would change or something like that?
Right.
But you see it right then. You see it.
It's clear.
But we always try to want to fix things or fix that person or no, this is who he is. If he shows you who he is, this is who he is.
Right. We talked about that this morning.
Yeah.
The expectation. There was a young lady and a guy who had been basically just hanging out, casual sex, casual dating, but he was very clear from the gate. He wasn't looking for a relationship. And then they do video blogs together, and she shifted the conversation to having a relationship with him, and he was just like, where is this coming from?
Right.
You know, the expectation of I'll deal with him as he wishes, with the expectation that he'll change his mind. And then he ends up becoming the bad guy. You know, all of the commentary was like, he ain't nothing.
Right. I appreciate
blah, blah,
it.
blah.
I wish guys would be more open like that.
Right, and I'm like, so
Save
here
me some
you
time.
go. As a sister, she was a young girl. She's hurt. You can tell she's broken. She's feeling some type of way. And I'm like, but sis, it's your fault.
Because he told you.
He told you. So, you know, setting yourself up with those unrealistic expectations and then placing the responsibility on people. You're supposed to do that, but I ain't signed up for that.
Right.
I didn't say I was going to do that. You had an expectation and now your feelings are hurt. Now she'll walk around with that bag. Because she done got, not only is she hurt, but you done got publicly hurt.
Right.
So she'll hold that bag and it will take her time if she ever recognizes it's her and not him. And that's huge for sisters, to be able to recognize that. Girl, you know how many bags you can let go of if you just recognize that?
Yep.
If you just recognize that, you can let go all them bags, all that relationship, done.
Let it go.
Done.
But I wish that guys could just say that in the beginning. This is what I'm looking for. We can be friends, we can date, we can do this, but I'm going to date other people.
They do.
I'm going to see. I haven't ran
to a
into
certain
any of them.
degree. I'm talking about in their actions.
True.
In their actions. They may not verbally say it out
but their action
loud,
speaks
but
louder
their
than their
actions
words.
let you know
They ain't
this
taking
ain't
you
what
back
I'm looking
and
for.
Right.
And you got to be able to go, okay, realize.
sense.
Discernment.
That was
Stop
me.
ignoring them flags.
That was me.
Y'all got all the flags just.
Yep. Slapping you in
Slapping
your
you
face.
upside your head.
Red
You like,
one,
Red
huh?
light indicator, red light indicator. Stop,
Yep.
stop. Warning, danger.
But you keep going.
But you want to hear it, and then when you hear it, can you deal with it?
And then you fall off the cliff.
And
You
but you
like, why
wanna
am I
hear it,
hurt?
And it's like 10 years later.
Yeah.
You fall off
And
the
you
cliff.
know it in your gut.
Yep.
And then when he finally says, I'm not fooling with you like that, you're mad because you feel like you wasted your time, but you wasted your own time. Like, you did that.
He was over there doing him while you was over there still trying to do him too.
Listen, today, in this era in time, in this year, in this season of my life, I'm learning how to date. I'm learning how to not have expectations. I'm learning how to hang out with whoever I feel like hanging out with, without the commitment, without the label,
without the box,
the title,
without the rules, without the guidelines.
Right. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you know what? You cool in like 5 areas, but these 2 over here, I'm not really feeling. So if I feel like I want to hang out in these 5 areas and get those 5 things from you, I'm good.
Then that's cool.
But if I don't, and James got 3 areas over there, want to hang out with James,
hang out with
then
James.
I'm going to go hang out with
areas.
James in those 3 areas, but not having this expectation of women do this. I done met 3 different guys, but I like James more, so I'm not going to date those other 2 guys. I'm going to act like I'm James' wife. And when James don't act like he my husband, I have a problem. And it's like, you can't do that. My counselor, my therapist told me, dating is like trying on shoes. You try on what shoes you like.
How long you gotta keep trying
until they fit? I mean, listen, when you've never dated in a healthy manner, you gotta start over. I've never dated in a healthy manner. I've always dated and been exclusive with somebody who wasn't exclusive with me, somebody that didn't ask me to be his woman.
Point that we'll talk about. That's another topic that we'll talk about on the show. Some healthy dating. A lot of us out here don't know how to date. Dysfunctional dating.
I had to ask my therapist 2 months ago. Because in my neighborhood, I would be considered a hoe to date more than one man at a time. So that tape plays in my head. Is it okay for me to go out to eat with James on Friday and Larry on Sunday?
Of course it is.
Right. I know that now, but I didn't know that in my 20s at all. So, you're sneaking and you're fooling or you're lying or you're playing games or games are being played with you. So today it's like, I'm going to do what makes me happy.
We'll talk about healing and relationships for men and women because we got that all wrong.
They swear we hold.
I know I need help in that area because it's just like, you know what I mean? I've been in healthy relationships until I found out what happened. Like I've been married twice, engaged 3 times. So, and they treated me really well. But at the end of the day, all relationships ended with cheating on their side. So then it's like me, I don't trust people anymore. So now it's like, okay, let me just get what I can get.
Because it looked good. Because like you just said, I've been in good relationships. They treated me well until they didn't. So in my mind, I'm the fool. I didn't see it. Now I can't trust people because when things look good, they're not.
They're not. Yeah, because I'm talking about praying together, just all kind of stuff. One person gave me 3 rings. Like, but how do you, and then they turn out and they cheat. It's 6 weeks away from the marriage.
They were cheating the whole time.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
It was cheating the whole time.
I didn't find out then, but you can be like the number 1 chick or the whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when they give you material stuff, they think that you'll stay. When I found out, I left.
Right.
But I'm tired of keep going through that same cycle. Like I think the guys these days are just not.
Well, we in a different era. Man. They ain't got to date you because you live, a block over. They can date
all over. I mean, it's just
the whole world.
It's
so easy.
Yeah, with the internet and it's access all over. That relationship in every state.
I think the biggest thing is learning to date yourself.
Yeah.
And I think too that we've all grown up with, we've all grown up with this happily ever after.
Yep, the
and
facade of what it looks like.
Of what
the
white
the White House with the picket fence,
with
the poodle,
faithful husband, with the 2 kids and the dog and everything. And it's just like,
does that really
but that's
exist?
not for everybody.
Right. Does
Happily
that really
ever
exist?
after doesn't look the same for everybody.
Everybody.
You may feel comfortable just dating and that's it, and never getting married. But
I want to be
then
married
people,
again, like I do, but it's just
and that's.
But then we gotta go to what is your definition, or how has marriage been defined to you? What did it look like in your childhood and even in adult years? Because you may have seen things in your family that look like happy, whole, healthy marriages on the outside, or maybe you didn't. So it's like, what is that definition like?
Growing up, I've never seen that. Like I've explained.
That may be why you yearn for it.
Yeah, and so back then I treated men like my dad treated my mom.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's our treatment. But then it got kind of turned around. Let me try this thing.
Right.
But then it's like, okay, here we go back again.
I tried it. See, I need to go back to what I know how to do best.
So the first hurt was from my dad.
Right.
So when you get that first hurt, how do you even, you know, because nowadays you look at men and relationships, you look at the beautifulest women in the world, you look at the richest women in the world, they still get cheated on. Like, what do you have to have? Whether you have money, a bad body, or whatever, you still get cheated on.
Right. Right.
So
That is
it's
true.
pretty sad. But
Right. I guess
And
deciding
sometimes
what
it's not even us. I mean,
Right.
like that whole topic is a topic that we need to have as a whole. It's not like, well, women on this side and men on this side.
Right.
It's just like a collective
conversation.
conversation. Because, like, for instance, some men may feel like there's not a benefit in being faithful. There's not a benefit
he
in
kept it
Right.
real on that video, though.
Right, it's not a benefit. He said that. It's not a benefit to me to be in this relationship.
Right.
And he said,
He said
I'm
it.
not going to treat you good with that title.
Yep.
Without this title, I can be and do and
Yep.
all of
He
that
was
for you.
honest.
But when you put me in that box and you give me that title, now it's going to be a
Now it's
problem.
gonna be a problem.
That pressure. I don't want that pressure. I don't want that responsibility. So can you, as women, can I say, or as a woman, can I say, you know what? I'm good with that. I don't need the
But
title.
then you can keep your feelings down. I'm
Right,
not
right.
gonna get all these feelings for you if this is what you tell me up front.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Or you decide, you know what, I can actually be in a relationship like this where I don't need, because why do you need the title?
Right.
You have to ask yourself. We have been, again, programmed to believe this title means something. It's attached to some sort of status. When reality is, I mean, James done gave Keisha and Christine and Ruby and Tara the status of you my girl. So what does that really, really, really mean? Or he done gave Christine the status of you my wife. But in Tennessee, he got a whole family and she his wife too.
Mm-hmm. And you still doing what you want to do. So a title really is how you treat a person.
Right. So,
It's all about respect. Respect me. Like respect me
right.
and be honest.
and be honest.
Be,
Let
respect
me
be
decide if I
honest
want to
and
be a
upfront.
part of a 3-ring circus.
Right. Right. Right.
I'm
And does
cool
that
with
work
it.
for you?
I'm like, really? I'm okay. Well, you know what? I don't have to deal with him all the time.
Yeah,
You know?
that's
I,
good for
listen,
me.
girl, I think I told you this year, I think that I am really recognizing, like, I only need to see James like 3 times at the week. And maybe not even that, maybe 3 times out the month. I don't need to be with somebody 7 days a week, all the time. It drives me nuts. I appreciate
And for me,
my
that's
own
what I'm looking
space.
for. Like I'm just.
But
looking
once you
to
get
trap.
it, though,
no,
you
but I've
might
had
be
it. I
like-
mean, I've had it,
Yeah.
and I like that feeling of doing things with my significant other, going on trips, celebrating our birthdays. You know, even doing laundry together, even cooking together.
I want to do
enjoy
that. I just don't want to do it 7 days a week.
I do. I'm almost 52.
Yeah.
3
yeah.
weeks.
I'm
So
still, yeah.
I
I'm
want
still
that.
young.
I have an empty nest.
I don't even know if that's young, being young. I'm like, I don't want to
And
That's
see,
what I
that's
want.
what I'm saying. Like, we
I have
all,
an empty nest.
there
We're
is
all
no box.
different.
and
There's
there
no
is
box.
thing.
There's no rules to this thing. It's like,
Right,
what
and
works
you
for
can't, and she can't say to you, well, what's wrong with you because of
Right.
this.
Right,
You
or
can't
I
say
don't
to
want to
her.
be married necessarily. I want a life partner.
Yeah.
I want to spend my life with somebody, but I don't necessarily want the contract of marriage. But women will say, like we just said, what's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Because God ordained and da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I got you and I get
Like,
it.
when I tell people I don't want kids, well, what are you going to do when you
Just
get
to watch
older?
my baby.
Well, what are you going to do when, well, what do you mean? It's plenty of people that
That's
don't
the
have
only
kids.
right.
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 I'm still
Well,
going to
wait
live
till
in
you
an
get old and get
amazing
sick. Why I
life.
gotta get old and get sick?
Right.
They might not
I
be.
hear
They
you.
might not be there for you anyway.
Exactly.
Hello?
And it's just like,
I think it comes down to the boxes, y'all.
Yeah.
We decide
like I
this
said,
is the
y'all don't
box.
need no boxes for other than moving. Get
Right.
rid of all the boxes.
I'm ready to go and
And
date.
Stop judging folks based on your
You.
box.
Yeah.
The box that you created for you doesn't work for me. It's yours.
Right, and you can't get mad because the box you want to put people in, they don't want to get in.
Or it doesn't fit. It
Right.
doesn't fit. It doesn't fit my lifestyle or what it is that I believe. I even just coming down to, like I said, what are your values as it relates to marriage? I think people are very distorted when it comes to marriage. I think their understanding of marriage is like absolutely skewed. It's this expectation that this person is no longer going to be A, B, C, and D, and now he's going to be X, Y, and Z, and you
Because
get
we
married,
married.
and you set yourself up for disappointment because he still remains your boyfriend.
But you know what? I have 3 girlfriends. 2 of them are ministers, and one, they're just regular.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all been married, 25 years, 21 years, and 15 years. And it's like their husbands still date them. They still have date night. They do things together. And I'm like these are 3, not perfect, because I know there's always something,
Right,
but
so
they understand each other.
values,
Right.
they have become friends.
I love their relationship that they have.
They have become friends.
Like, that's what I want. It does exist.
Right,
does
absolutely.
exist.
But I bet you without a shadow of a doubt, those couples are friends. They have made a commitment to build on their friendship, a solid foundation built on, similar wants, goals, and needs, and they've probably struggled to get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? But their value system is, I am committed to this person till death do me part.
Yep.
I am going to support this woman or this man.
I love them.
And I guess it's old school, but the reality is some of them old school relationships look good on the outside, baby. Look good on the outside. And it was a whole hot mess.
But I can say that their relationship, they have minor, some like big money issues or something like that. But one couple that was surprising, because they're both pastors, is that the woman pastor was thinking about stepping out.
Hey, listen,
and I was like,
don't get
whoa.
it
When she
twisted.
talks to me like that, I'm like, whoa.
Really?
Like,
yeah.
That was like a shocker for me.
Because we think it's the man. We think it's the man. I was a cheater. He was too, but I was a cheater.
She was attracted to another pastor, and she just was like telling me, because we can talk like that.
Right.
She's telling me what she actually wanted to do.
Right.
And I'm like,
hey,
And
listen.
that could
that's
have been her way of just getting
talking
that
about
out.
it and getting out before she actually did it.
Before she acted on
Yeah.
it. My sister and her husband have one of the most amazing marriages I've seen. Like, they really, really believe in the Bible. And they really follow what the Bible says as it relates to their marriage. So I can respect it, because they really do value it in a way in which, Lord, in which this is what they live their life by, the spiritual principles. My sister said something to me so phenomenal. She says, I don't share, and my husband doesn't share our woes, our issues in our marriage, whether it be money, spiritual, mental, emotional, with nobody. She said, I've never talked bad about my husband to anybody in my family. There can't nobody come and say, she said, or he said. They've learned to keep their marriage. And when I say it's a beautiful, like the way they adore each other.
That's exactly what
and
they
they're
say.
almost, she's in her 50s, he's almost 60. And they look like a little 20-year-old couple. They are really, and they've had issues.
Stop putting your business on us.
They've had issues.
Media.
They don't post it on social media.
Stop telling everybody.
They don't share it with their parents. Her mama can't call him and be like, my daughter said you was.
Right.
None of that. And they've been married, 30-something years.
Wow.
30-something
That's
years.
what I want.
But
That's what you're gonna
That's
get.
what you're gonna
That's
get.
how
I'm gonna
got
keep
to
on
speak
You
saying
will
it.
manifest that.
I'm
You
gonna
will
keep
speak
on
that
saying
into existence. You will continue. Someone told me, pray for him.
Oh yeah,
Pray for
I
him.
just put
Pray
into
for
the
him
universe.
and speak to him and
As if he's already
as if
there.
he's already
I
there.
put it out in the universe. My heart is open, and I want the universe to send me my king and who I deserve, but who wants me. I don't put no names on it.
Right.
My heart is just open for real love, real godly love.
Right, and you will manifest that. That is your heart's desire and intention. You're making sure you have a free heart.
Yeah, we
clean
finna
hands. Yeah,
go
we're gonna
ahead
wrap up.
wrap this up.
I
Yeah,
probably got on that subject.
Yeah, the healing,
But-
baby, healing. It encompasses it all.
exactly. But of course, I'm Ruby, and this is Tara Soul
Soul
Therapy
Therapy Radio.
Radio. We'll be launching next month. Make sure you subscribe to the email list so you'll find out first the exact date. When you subscribe to the email list, then of course you are entered for a chance to win a free month of advertising. Yeah, I decided to go ahead and throw that out there. But again, today we just wanted to do a pop-up healing session because of course we always talk about mental illness, but we always don't have a lot of resources, not only for women but also for men. And by doing this was an opportunity for me and Tara to share with you, some things or some exercises that we do to practice self-care and self-love and effectively manage our feelings and emotions. We want to thank Christine for being here.
My pleasure.
We don't know where the rest of y'all at, but it's okay. Y'all can watch it on the replay. And we'll see y'all next time. I'm sure we'll be doing this again. I'm not sure when, but we'll post an event. Let me see. Tara, go say some wild thing real quick.
She is a whole mess. And like she said, Soul Therapy Radio will be launching in July. If you're a small business and you're looking for radio advertisement, social media advertisement, please reach out to us.
Yes.
If you are wanting us to advertise your product, you can send in product. We're looking for product sponsors as well.
If you want to be a guest on the show,
yes,
send us,
reach out.
There's a packet you can download on the website, www.soultherapyradio.life. The advertising and guest packet is there.
That's about it. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook, Soul Therapy Radio. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, Respect the Queen LLC, or Coach Tara Jackson. Ruby
on Instagram at Ruby the Artistry, RUBI the Artistry. Facebook, Ruby Davidson. Yeah, www.soultherapyradio.life. Be sure to check us out. Of course, this is just a little bit of what we'll be talking about on the show, but it's just a little bit, so y'all can get to know us a little bit better and whatever. But yeah.
If you are in the Atlanta Metroplex area and you are looking for sweet treats for your event, baby showers, birthdays, weddings, the whole nine, please holler at Miss Christine Washington, glamourtreatsbycoco.com on Facebook and Instagram as well.
It's good.
It's real good.
Thank you.
It's real good. It's
Facebook
that good.
Also, Glamour
Treats by Coco. I think that's it,
that's
y'all.
it.
We appreciate you sharing this time with us. I hope that you all were able to receive something you could take back into your own life as a part of your healing. Till next time.
Bye. See y'all later.